Yo, what's up, everyone? Yeah, right into it. So this is gonna be a tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon Necro build, um, or not even really. It's just it's really just to show you what I've been using currently to clear tier 100 Nightmare dungeons and just where I'm at and whatnot. I'm going to add some gameplay of this at the end of the video, and I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible because I keep like disconnecting. This is actually like the fourth time I made this video, so I'm just going to kind of go over this real quick, right? Hemorrhage standard. Basically, I was using Reap before, but Hemorrhage is basically going to be a superior generator for your energy, right? As well too, attack speed is a big part of why you fill up so fast. Now I know this also has attack speed too. I'm not saying that that's why it fills up fast. I'm just saying that attack speed is also a big part of how fast you're going to generate your energy. So yeah, when you see an attack speed stat, it's not just for damage and whatnot. It's also for how fast you're going to generate your essence. Reap, I don't know what's wrong with Reap. Over here is pretty standard. Going into paranormal, 1 point in here for fortify. Right, your damage has a chance to create corpse on lucky hit. This over here is going to help you fortify, right? So I have 2 extra points. I don't know where to put them. Maybe in here. I don't know. We'll see. Talk about that later. I was using this before I solved my essence issue. Hem definitely solved my essence issue. One of the big things I'm doing different here is I'm not using blood mist, right? The reason I'm not using blood mist I'm going to get into when I go over the gear, but I'm just not really dying at all, so I don't have that on. Nothing in here is really worth grabbing. Corpse explosion may be where I put a point. I'm going to explain why later. And yeah, I was using blood mist and corpse explosion and both of these during my leveling process before I had the setup that I was going to do. Another thing while I was using Reap, because I had so many essence issues, and the same thing with Iron Maiden, I was also using that during the leveling process for essence because I was having essence issues. This was all, I'm pretty sure this was all before I even went into Hem. Once you get Hem and maybe add some attack speed, you're going to be perfectly fine on essence. Yeah, I went into Decryptify. Most of the stuff here I think standard. You can kind of see where I have points. Not too much to talk about there. I'm going to talk about Corpse Tendril here for a second. I went into the vulnerable application side of this, right? I feel like most builds, everyone I see, they always go for the blood orb side of this. Nothing I'm really doing is on the blood orb side of this. I have a couple ideas how I may implement blood orb, but currently it's not really in my build. Now, with that being said, Corpse Tendril is also, I think, like my only vulnerable application. I can't really think of another vulnerable application that I have. Maybe there is, I don't know, but that's pretty much my only vulnerable application as well. So when they get pulled, I like their, to be vulnerable, which is a big part of why I also don't have this. Is with the blood orbs, is I'm not really focusing on blood orbs. Now, if I did, I probably should have 1 point into here to create blood orbs more often. I think that makes a lot of sense, but I'm kind of, I'm making decisions. I'm actually trying to remove points from, I'm not going to go too much into that. This is pretty much standard here. Healing, all healing, This is just where I'm at currently here to help me fortify. And then here is attack speed. I think this stuff here is pretty standard. Boom. And then I've gone into Bone Storm. Real quickly, I'm going to show, let's do the Paragon board next, right? Try to just go over this quickly. I have referenced a little bit of the Paragon board. So here, I'm thinking of changing this out because blood orbs, I'm not really big on blood orbs. I'm thinking about switching some of this stuff around. This is the start of what I have, and I'm kind of making decisions. So step 1, I went into Bloodbath, Territorial, Blood Begets. Corp. I'm thinking about changing this one as well. Got Son of Death. Big 427 overpower dominate. Right. Control. Right. And then boom. Now, consuming 5 corpse grants Flesh Eater, right? So, one of the things is I don't have a bunch of ways that I'm consuming corpse, right? Now, the only way that I have that I'm consuming corpse is Bone Storm, right? Because I'm actually using this right here, which I'm going to get into in a second. I'm actually changing that out, but I'm going to get into that in a second. So I could use a point right here, right, to put that on the back burner and kind of just be casting that once in a while to make sure that that stays procced. And then maybe there's a way to get into Fueled by Death, but I don't know. So I'm actually going to take that out for a second. Discuss the Paragon board. What was I talking about? I was talking about, yeah, Flesh Eater. That's one of the only ways that I have is Bone Storm. Oh, okay, so yeah, Corpse Explosion, that's why you'd put that there to keep that up, right? So I just want to talk about gear. I'm going to get to that in just a second, or should I open with that? You know what, I'll just open with this. So this is kind of where the video kind of separates about what I was doing, what I wanted to do, and not necessarily where I'm at now, right? But let me explain my number one goal for this build. The number one goal for this build, and actually I would, if I made any necromancer, it would revolve around what I'm about to say, okay? Now, even though this is a Blood Surge build, Blood Surge was not my number one priority, okay? If I wasn't able to do this, I wouldn't, with Blood Surge, I wouldn't do it. So my number one thing on this build is going to be this talent right here. Each time Bone Storm damages an enemy, gain a barrier. Now, here's the thing. I see people using this all the time, right? But I feel like they don't have 100% uptime on it, basically, right? And then it gets knocked and they go down, right? So the thing that I want to do is make sure that this has 100% uptime, and to even go a step further, 100% uptime with multiple Bone Storms, which you can only get through Ibis. Now, these two things right here, right, will basically make you immortal, right? This will make it so these two things right here alone make it so your tier 100 experience is extremely easy. So if I was to switch build and go Bone Spear, I would still use this. If I was to make a new Corpse Explosion build that I've never even tried before, I would still use this inside of there to do whatever. Okay, now with that being said, that's why I have this on the amulet, but I can actually take this off now because before I didn't have Lidless Wall, right? Before I didn't have Lidless Wall. Before, what I was doing was I only had one, I could only spawn one Bone Storm. So I was still doing it with one Bone Storm, but I would do it with this on my amulet, and then I would use this vampire power right here, ultimate skills 20 cooldown reduction. Now, no one says to use this, but I was using it the entire time before I got Lidless because I didn't have Lidless and I didn't have these boots, and I wanted that up 100% of the time, right? So anyways, there's that. But now I can take this off and switch that out, right? Now, to the next step is, before I didn't have these boots also either, right? So now I have these boots. So I can just evade through an enemy and get the cooldown. So that's pretty essential. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through the gear, let you see everything. Disobedience, Bone Storm Barrier, attack speed, blood overpower, These have actually made things a lot easier in the essence department because a vampire power here, where is it? Metamorphosis, right? Anytime I evade, I become unstoppable. So when I evade, I go unstoppable, and it gives me 50 of my essence. So, which is just insanely powerful, especially for a Necro. Necro has no form of, um, unstoppable to begin with. So Metamorphosis just being on there alone is powerful. But then on top of that, when I also do that, I'm also getting, half my bar of primary back. Makes life a lot easier. So there's that, right? Boom. Next. My gear is terrible, so don't look into it. I mean, my gloves. I've been trying to get rid of this crit hit damage with bone skills forever, but it is what it is. My gear is terrible. I do have some upgrades, but I don't want to throw them on yet. I don't want to dump resources because I'm not 100% sure which way I'm going. Even what I'm wearing right now is simply just a test. Everything I'm wearing that I've been clearing 100 dungeons with, I'm still just testing stuff, right? So, before I got all this stuff too, I had to have cooldown reduction on my amulet. I felt like finally took a little bit of cooldown reduction off now that I am able to keep, multiple bone storms up easily. I have 100% up on it. Mother's Embrace. Oh my goodness, I've always hated this ring, man. I've never liked this ring until now. And I've had every character pretty much, all different types of different builds. Mother's Embrace though, man, Blood Surge is a huge AoE on your screen, right? So this, with the essence cost reduction I got, I'm at 23 essence. This is like what, almost 50%. Easy math here. That's gonna be like, I'm gonna round hard here, but it's like 10, a little bit more than 10 essence a cast, right? Which is just amazing that this just makes life easier. It doesn't have the stats I want on it, but I mean, I don't care. I'm putting the stamp on Mother's Embrace. I'm enjoying it for now, at least. Ring of Starless Skies. The first uber unique I ever found. Yeah. So, this is not needed for this build. It really doesn't do anything for the build. And it's probably one of the first things that I'm thinking about taking off. I'm not going to get into that too much, but yeah, I'm rotating this off. And then, of course, I got Lidless Eye over here. Okay, I did skills, did Paragons. So I got Resist to All, Overpower Multiplicative, Increase Attack Speed. You could also go Increase Life. I'm going to see where I'm at on that. So I'm going to just show my stats real quick. There is something I forgot to say now too, and that's going to be with crit chance. I only have 22 crit chance. Actually, my whole speech for this, hold on a second. So, where is it? First of all, I just want to mention that I'm missing this talent right here, Grasping Veins, is usually on every single person's build. I always see Grasping Veins on here, but I had taken it off throughout all these tests. And I think for the most part I was doing okay. Plus I didn't really have anywhere I could put it anyways. Throughout my tests at least. And plus I was testing other stuff. Anywho though. With this I would have, with a perfect version I would have, what, 42 chance, right? And then, well actually before I even mention that, but I have 22 chance right now, right? So the thing is, I have 100% uptime on Bone Storm. Bone Storm gives me 20 crit chance with that right there. I don't know if y'all saw that. I might have clicked off it too fast. So right here, increased crit chance, Bone Storm is active, plus 20, right? So that alone, I already have you know, with I haven't tried to get crit chance on any item at all, right? It just happens to have there, and I'm taking some off there, perfect. So as of right now, I have 22 chance plus a 20, 42 crit chance, which I think is perfectly fine to activate any crit hit damage. Now, if I was to add this, okay, at 100, at the good version, 20%, you know, that would mean I had 62, almost 60, I'm just going to say 63, I'll say 62, 62 crit chance I would have, right, which I think is too much crit chance, even though I do think the crit hit damage on this is worth it. I'm going to add that I don't have any crit hit chance there. What I say, 62? So if I had crit hit, if I just had 10 chance here, that'd be 72 crit chance. I just think it's a little unnecessary. I'm probably going to be putting this on my gear, but during the leveling process, I think that other stuff is more important, like, you know, Bone Storm or whatever, right? So there's that. Yeah, I think we should get into and show you some footage. Let's show you some footage. What do we want to do here? Where is... Don't I have a dungeon up? I thought I had a dungeon up. Did I, like, leave the dungeon? Alright, we're going to the next one. What's this one? Oh, they're gonna... Oh, Drifting Shade. Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, I had a dungeon up, man. I had a dungeon up I wanted to do because it was very dense, lots of mobs. Dang. Yeah, I hope this one's got lots of mobs in it to give a good demonstration. I feel like I forgot to say something in here when I was showing the gear. I feel like I forgot about something. What was I showing before? You know, I actually did forget to show my vampire powers. Maybe I'm gonna actually just flash my vampire powers real quick. So, previous, you know, maybe that's one of the things I forgot. Before I had cooldown reduction on all this because I didn't have Wall of Eyeless and I didn't have this cooldown here when you evade. So I was keeping this Bone Storm up with cooldown reduction. And one of the ways I was doing it was with this right here. No one ever used that. And, you know, I mean, no one ever uses it. I just feel like they only use the best in slot stuff. That I would recommend experimenting with some of this. Another thing that I also used was Moonrise during the leveling process. Getting that attack speed. Oof, man, attack speed's so nice. Yeah, but just real quick, Undying. Boom. 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 Okay. Now, real quick, I think I mentioned this, but I'm actually about to talk about it, so I want to show you. When a corpse is formed from a skill, Fortify, right? This right here. Boom. You know what? Let's put these in here just because. Oh yeah. Actually, did I talk about Corpse Explosion? So, did I talk about Corpse Explosion and over here? Yeah. So, I don't really. So, Bone Storm's pretty much the only way that I, you know, get Corpse. So you can put Corpse Explosion there to actually proc more Corpse. You know, I'm actually not going to do that though. I'm just going to set that there. I'm going to play a little bit more relaxed and just get into this. The one thing I did want to say though is, so Blood Surge right here, overpower scales off of your health and your Fortify amount. So basically, I'm going to say it now before I get into the fight. The barrier that's up over your health bar is protecting your damage, right? That barrier that from this Bone Storm is making it so your health is at 100% and your fortify is at 100%, making maximum overpower damage when you go, which I think is a very interesting point. Alright. Alright, I hope there's some mobs in here. Alright, let's start casting and killing some stuff. How about it? Alright, where are the monsters at here? Drift Shade. Oh my goodness. So, I feel like I'm not really paying attention because I'm recording. So, I'm actually going to pay attention for a second here. See, I feel like there's no... See, normally I wouldn't have done this, right? Normally, I would make sure there's like 4 or 5 bone storms on the map. So let's do that now. I'll show you what it looks like. And I'm also not evading. See, right now, look. You know, I actually just want to show how fast I would die right now. Like, if any of these things touch me, I would probably die, right? Like, I don't even want to risk it, actually. So, because I'm recording, I let this go down. Normally, this never goes off, ever, right? I'm going to show you a little bit more what it would be like here. Oh my goodness, I'm playing so bad. Normally, too, I actually hit this. That'd take my health up a little bit. I feel like there's no monsters in this place. When I roll, it fills my essence. So these bone storms that you're seeing now. Oh, I feel like this is the worst example. Where are these enemies at? There's like 12 enemies down there. I want to fight 50 enemies. Show you what the build does. We're gonna have to find some mobs or something because there's like apparently no enemies here. Look, I'm sorry guys, there's literally like no enemies. Alright, hopefully through this next door, hopefully there will be some enemies here. I feel like I'm forgetting to constantly evade through people. Okay, maybe not, because my bone storm, see how my bone storm popped up before this ends? That can, you know, that tells me that I'm, could maybe get rid of some cooldown reduction, but at the same time, I don't want to get rid of so much cooldown reduction that I'm stressing to keep it procced. Is that thing still going? That thing is still going right now. I'm actually gonna hit this. I don't know how that thing is still going. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna roll, get some essence back. Boom, see how it just fills up when I evade there. I mean, that was actually quite easy too, that fight I just went through. Oh, hopefully this is a cursed. Alright, I was hoping for a cursed there. I actually usually don't like grabbing the shrines because I feel like when I grab a shrine, I get a little distracted on my keeping my bone storm and whatnot up, and I also feel like it kind of makes it harder to proc. So normally I probably wouldn't have grabbed that. Normally I would have or right now I wanted there to be a cursed one so I could show you, you know, a big fight. Okay, here we finally got some enemies. Man, is this tier 100? Monsters. So all these bone storms up throughout the map right now, right? They're just keep protecting my life right now, and my fortify, making sure that I'm damaging. Why? I feel like my, oh, there we go. I felt like my pants weren't rocking there. My pants, because I played pretty lazy. Like right there, I didn't have any essence, and I didn't want to, blood surge, right? I was being lazy. I just kept trying to roll to get the 50 essence, because that will make you lazy. Okay. Oh, I love how fast that thing shoots. You guys can't really see it because, I mean, we haven't seen any enemies this whole time. But yeah, it's extremely easy playstyle. It's very tanky. You're gonna be very hard to die. When ads pop up on you like this, it's not gonna matter. Your life pretty much isn't going to even go down. That's how fast my essence bar will fill too. If you saw how fast I just filled that there. Without the proc. Hopefully this is cursed. Come on. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much an example here. Oh, I got hit with shade right there and everything. Ooh, explosions and everything right there. Alright, gonna fill that up. Make sure that stays lit. So I felt like right here, that whole time I was fighting them, enemies, I felt like I only had one Bone Storm lit, because of the way they were positioned, right? But yeah, that's pretty much the build. Hey, I'm gonna be making more Diablo 4 content. Hey, go ahead, like and subscribe if you'd like to follow along. This guy doesn't want to die. Vampiric in a level 100. Yeah, go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you want. If you don't, that's cool too. Where's gonna be my way out after? Oh, they tried to kill me, bruh. I'm just gonna skip that guy because, yeah, I don't feel like killing him. Oh, you know what? I actually do feel like killing him. He thought he was something. Let's go ahead and kill him in the doorway. Yeah. Oh, was that the end? Oh, that was the end. This dungeon was terrible. I wish there was 500 ads in here so I could show you. But yeah, that is what it is. It was actually quite easy. I thought the video of the actual gameplay wasn't very good. I wish you could have seen some better action. But yeah, hey, smash that like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm going to post a video on this sooner or later with the upgraded version of this. You know, hopefully I can find, you know, like the Shaco helm, put that on there. You know, that'd give me like, what, plus 14 ranks, 13 ranks, the Blood Surge. It's going to be pretty crazy. Hey, smash that like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You know what it is. Everyone's goal. Let me know. I'm gone.